Hey, how's it going, guys? I want you to pay close attention to what I do on this corner right here as it pertains to the throttle pedal. Right there, right there. So that's three different times that my initial throttle has been under 50%. Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind. Now watch as we go into this next turn here. I want you to watch how we handle corner exit. So right there, those, again, with those initial implementations of my throttle, what I'm doing is I'm putting weight back on my rear tires without adding enough stress to them to keep me on the limit. And what you're getting as a result of that is when I come out on late exit, I end up with a lot of understeer and the car is not rotating enough. I'm not getting as much rotation as I could out of the whole corner. Now coming into this high speed corner, I want you to watch how I handle the initial throttle for this. And there, once again, you can see even before this point where I reach 49%, you could see those initial stabs of like 15%, 10%, 20% throttle. And this being a high speed corner, it's real. I'm really losing that extra rotation that will allow me to get back up to 100% throttle as quickly. And here we are once again with the same issue. You can see there another 8% throttle and really too early. I'm getting those initial stabs of throttle and which is too low, and I'm also doing it too early, which is it's going to cause understeer and it's going to cause me to get a worse exit on the corner. So I want you to watch how I make my exit here. And now you can see as I'm coming out of the corner, I'm having to get onto the throttle late, and it's not forcing me over. I had to steer over to the track limits. It didn't push me to the outside like it should have. And right here, once again, we have the same issue. You've seen there just multiple times I'm hitting on the throttle at just 20%, 30%, and it's just, it's not doing anything to help me, and it's just causing me to get on to full throttle later and later in the corner, which is gonna severely hamper my late exit. It's really gonna mess up my exit speed. And you can see there as we come out of the exit, we're not even using up the track limits. I should be all the way over there in the green, you know, just inside of the grass. But because I was forced to get onto the throttle so late, I'm not even using all of the exit, all of that extra room that I have to pick up more speed. So we're going to finish this lap up, and then I'm going to show you a better lap where I do a better job of all of this on each corner. So here we come on the more improved lap, and I want you to watch how this plays out. So right there, you can see on this lap, I got up to 75% throttle a lot quicker, and there was a lot less playing around. There was a lot less modulation in the lower levels of the throttle. And there's a reason that's a good thing in a car like the MX5, and that's because, as you know, this is a lower powered car. And when you get onto the throttle as early as I did and as low on the throttle as I did, what you're doing is you're transferring weight to the rear tires without stressing them enough to keep the car in the rotation phase and to keep it on the limit. So you're basically, when you do that, you're taking it out of the limit and you're cutting your rotation phase of the corner a lot shorter, and that causes you to get up to 100% throttle a lot later and you're getting a lot less exit speed as well. So now you can see on this corner, I did go up to like 50% before I got up to 75%, and that's because this corner is a little bit slower. But you'll notice there that I'm getting up to 75% throttle a lot quicker. And as I said in the last corner, it's keeping the car on the limit, and it's keeping the car in the rotation phase, which is allowing me to get to 100% throttle a lot quicker. And that's going to be really important for this corner here where you're just doing a quick lift. By getting up to you've seen how I went straight to 100% throttle there. And what that's doing is that's keeping me from going wide. A lot of times when I would take this corner before, I would always end up having to wait even later to get on the throttle, or I would get on the throttle early and end up in the dirt. But by getting up to 100 immediately, like going straight to 100, you'll see here I'm able to throttle through the apex, and I'm able to do it without going too wide, which allows me to carry a lot more speed. And for this corner here, this is what I would consider to be the most important corner well, the second most important corner of this track. It's got this, the second longest, I mean, the straightaways may be about even, but you're taking this and then you're going into that long straight, and then you've got that high speed corner that leads into another straight. So in my opinion, this is probably the most important corner because this is where you're getting that first initial burst of speed going down the straight, which is then gonna lead to the next corner, which then turns into the straight after that. So it's really a combination of this corner, this straight, the next corner, and the following, the main straight, that are it's the most important section of the track. And you can see this go around. I got onto throttle way quicker. I mean, I almost skipped through 75% throttle and went straight to 100. And this was probably this probably made the most difference in cutting down my lap time. And see, that time we used every bit of the exit all the way over to the curb. We're going to get a good run up here to this final corner. So you'll notice on this one, I did do that initial stab of like 25% throttle, but nowhere near as bad as I did. If you'll go back and look at that first lap, you'll see that it was, I was really like 10%, 20%, back to 10, up to 20, up to 50, and then 75 and 100. So, I was really fighting against the rotation of that corner, which was, which really cut off time on the exit of the corner. So you'll see here we got on it quicker. We're going to use up all the exit and we're going to bring it to the line strong. Yeah, and there you have it, guys. And there you can see how we went, just by focusing on one thing, by focusing on the implementation of our throttle, we were able to go from a 103.3 to a 102.9. So almost 4/10 there. So just something that you could think about, and hopefully this helps you guys out. Thanks.